for the real deal New England feel.
I went up the rail. My wife told me I would be ashamed of myself.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
CORSO and CATONE.
Welcome into CORSO and CATONE, the real deal New England feel. I'm CORSO. CATONE is here. Joe's with us in the booth. You are watching on YouTube. And when you're on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, give us that thumbs up. Smash the like button, right, Mark?
Oh, smash it. Smash it.
Smash it. Just like Vrabel smashing
Listen,
things.
at least we're here. We're not, you're not away somewhere getting some kind of help or something. We're here. We're live.
There it is.
There it is, Joe.
Doing the countdown as to how long it's going to take.
I love it. You like this better, though.
Yeah, I do.
That's Mark.
I like the first one better. It's kind of like,
So make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, and we will read them all on the air. So make sure you're leaving a comment. And if you're listening, you're doing it on iHeartRadio and Apple Podcasts and want to hear from you in heated hotline, 855-313-PATS, P-A-T-S, message line 24/7. Leave us a message. Anything's on the table. Draft, Celtics, Bruins, all of it. So we want to hear from you, or you can email us, corso.catone@gmail.com, or you can just see us on Instagram. We're putting up some of these shorts and some of these little clips. Had a couple from the draft last week, Mark.
Yeah.
Which we will get into today, which, yes, we got a good one. And B's and C's, we're going to talk Bruins and Celtics and playoffs. And, boy, what an odd playoffs it's been. So we're going to discuss that. And, of course, Catone's comments. We'll see what Mark has today. Let's not – usually it's a secret for me, but I think this is going to has to do with Cora, no?
Maybe.
Am I right? Okay.
Maybe.
So we'll see what that's going to be. And, of course, in Pat's preview, we're going to talk a little we're going to talk draft, of course. We're going to go over some of these draft picks. And, of course, we also will discuss the Mike Vrabel Missing parties. We're going to toss that whole saga situation. We will update you on that.
That just needs to be put to bed now. I mean, I've had enough now. This is getting a little ridiculous, Chris. You know what I mean?
We will talk about it. I mean, it's all anybody wants to talk about. Hi, guys.
Let's check out the soap opera for crying out loud.
Enjoy the draft, did you?
The first half of the draft I did.
Did you?
Days.
Not the second half.
Joe's disgusted with it.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Yeah. Joe didn't like it. He was texting me.
Why not, Joe? Well,
can we pick? I'm with you, Mark. I've been fighting the same fight you've been about a wide receiver the last 10 years. And it seems like their first pick is always a lineman. And it always seems like it's a left tackle, too.
Just to set the stage for later in the show, not that it was a strong wide receiver class, Chris. However, this was a record number of wide receivers drafted in any one draft in the NFL modern era. And the Patriots didn't take one.
There you go.
Because the wide receiver room is so good.
Kyle Williams, baby. That's it. So, but before we get to that, we have to talk about playoffs. We're in the playoffs. We want to talk about the Bruins and Celtics in the playoff series. We're going to do it in B's and C's right now.
Hit it as over the Boston Celtics are the world champions, and they have shown the world how great a ball club they really are.
An ugly couple of games for the Boston Celtics, but as the final seconds tick off the clock, as generations have before us, we're going to get a seventh game between the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. The final score in Game 6, Philadelphia 106, Boston 93.
Going to just keep shooting threes. They go in, we're going to win. We don't make them, we're going to lose. I mean, I've never seen a good team that it's like, guys, okay.
What would be their plan B if you were them?
You got Tatum and Brown. They're good enough players to get to the basket. You always when you talk to great shooters like a Reggie Miller, somebody like that, or Ray Allen, or Steph Curry, they're like, sometimes you're having a bad night. Go to the basket, get a layup, or get a foul, get a couple free throws, the basket will widen out. Like, those guys are too good of players just to rely on threes. And it's frustrating watching them. Because I always like, yeah, if they go in, it's great. If they don't go in, okay, we just having a bad night. Because shooting probably the hardest part of basketball, in my opinion. Because you especially contested shots.
To the basket whenever they want because there's no rim protection, but at least give them a hard foul. I hate to sound like Tommy, but you know what? Ron Harper did that.
A wicked hard foul.
Garza dunked in face and said, let's go, guys. It sucks that the bench has to be the guys to do that, but Mazzulla, does he even know they're there? Does he even know they're there? He uses them all year long, and when they're getting their asses kicked in Game 6 on the road, doesn't even look at them, plays them, and it becomes a 10-point game. Am I crazy? Here I am. Someone's probably like, Joe, you're talking about the bench. Well, hell, nobody else could play. Nobody else could make a shot. So in a way, I'm glad that the bench is showing Joe Mazzulla, dude, your rotations and adjustments just flat out suck.
Okay, so that was some
I think he
reaction.
captured it.
Yeah, so we heard the final call of the game. That was Grandy and Max on the radio call, and of course Charles Barkley and an angry Joe Murray on the radio.
You know you've had a bad night when Barkley starts to make sense.
Right. Right. Yeah, he's talking about those big old women in San Antonio. He says,
Oh,
right?
He was out of control. Out of control. That's another segment.
Mark, there's a lot there.
Hey, there's a lot to unpack, Chris.
Let's start with the obvious. Okay. Now, not last night, but the game before that, Tatum and Brown combined for 2 points in that fourth quarter, and that would have been what? Game 5.
Game 5,
right?
yeah.
And it wasn't much better last night.
No.
Down the stretch.
No, they went ice cold.
So let's start with those.
It was
two.
like a 4-minute stretch, Chris, almost 5-minute stretch. Didn't score a point.
You got to start with those two. I mean, if you're going to start with anybody, you got to start with the stars. We'll get to Mazzulla in a second. But what the hell is going on? What are you seeing? I mean, I think it's pretty much what we've predicted may happen and what you concerned with. In fact, we played one of the shorts where you said, it's playoff time, though. Is Tatum going to take the stance that, well, now it's playoffs time? It's not my time. It's my team again.
And
you asked that question.
Yes, and we didn't think that would happen. But there are stretches in these games, Chris, where Brown is standing around again. Pass, he's not aggressive enough. He's passing the ball.
My turn, your turn.
Yeah, exactly. He's not doing what he did in the regular season. He attempted a little bit to do that when Tatum went off the court in Game 6. Yeah. When Tatum went to the locker room, but he just didn't have it. He didn't have it. When Paul George is able to play defense on you and steal the ball and frustrate you, which Paul George is 100 years old, that's a disgrace. So Brown, Chris, is not stepping up. I know you said, I would trade Tatum. I don't know about that, Chris. Brown's not stepping up again. Again, it's playoff time. He ain't stepping up in this series either. I mean, I get Tatum. Tatum, I think they've deferred to Tatum a little too much because he's still not 100% back to where he was. But Brown is going to get aggressive, Chris, and do something. Like he's going to take control and say, guys, listen, I've done it all year. I'm going to do it again and bring him home. And he's not doing it. He's not. And Barkley makes reference to Curry and Allen and Miller. Listen, I'm going to say it again. Tatum and Brown are not in the category of those three guys. Don't compare them. Those guys were alpha, number one stars on their team. Allen played with Pierce and Garnett. I get it. But those guys had balls. They had balls in key situations. These two guys don't have that, Chris. They have not shown it. They've never shown it. You think all of a sudden they're going to strap it on now? They're not going to. Now I sound like Murray.
Falsetto.
Yeah, listen, Joe, I can't disagree with him. You can't disagree with what you're saying. When it's not cutting time, they're nowhere to be found.
I will go back to my statement 2 years ago. If somebody didn't take out Denver for them, they weren't winning that championship. They wouldn't have beat Denver. They wouldn't have beat them.
Look, okay, so
and they'd have no championships with these two guys.
when you look at the series, you look from a basketball standpoint, and you say, okay, well, what the hell is actually going on the court that's happening? Because like we'll get to the bench in a second and talk about Missoula's role in all this. And I'm come down on Missoula too, but I can't lay it. I can't lay it on an NBA coach. Look, coaching in the NBA is fine. I mean, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter because it does matter because Missoula showed last year that you can lose a game with coaching by a style of play that you play.
And he's done that in this series, Chris. That style of play is hurting them in this series. It's hurting them.
With the three, die by the three.
Yeah, live by the three, die by the three. And when did it become, Mark, well, they didn't take that many. When you take 43s, well, that's not that many. When did 43-pointers not become that many? That's a lot of friggin' 3-pointers, especially when you're shooting 23, 25, 29% from 3-point.
So, Chris, what are you seeing, X's and O's wise? That is it's just
Well, when I don't understand why it's so important for a forward. I don't care who the forward is to be carrying the ball up the court.
Yeah.
Now maybe I'm just archaic. Okay. And an old school basketball dude. But every time Tatum handles the ball, bad things happen. That pounded into the pavement, slow roll up the court, pick up points at half court. It ends up being a fall-away 3-point shot. There's nothing in the paint. There's no spacing. There's no movement. Guys are standing outside the perimeter. Nobody's in the paint. And by the way, can somebody move Embiid out of the goddamn paint?
Who's going to move him?
When we're in the offensive zone?
Who's going to move him? Vucevic? Who's going to move? Hey, Kata, he's got 3 fouls in the first 8 minutes of every game. He's on the bench, Chris, by the 10-minute mark of the first quarter in every game.
So Embiid's sitting there, camped out, rim protecting.
Yeah.
All right. And we're not even talking about what's going on at the defensive end. That's a disgrace, too.
Chris, the sad thing is, even when Embiid went to the bench, they brought in Drummond. Drummond's 100, and Drummond was gashing them, and he's 100 years old.
Yeah. So nobody's moving their bigs out of the paint.
No.
Okay. To get any penetration at all. That's the first problem I see. The second problem I see is you're right. The friggin' the idea of Brown playing, driving, kicking, putting pressure on their defense, regardless if it's misses. I mean, you could say, okay, fine. We go to the defensive end, say we're not getting enough stops, but you shouldn't need to just get stops in order to get. It has to be transition buckets or nothing. That's bullshit, Mark. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Like you should be able to all season long. They've been able to, pierce the penetrate the friggin' paint, kick out for open looks. The problem I have with the threes that they're taking, they're not good looks anymore now.
No, they're just chucking it.
Now they're just chucking it, and that's why their percentage sucks. So that's the problem that I'm seeing. And I don't know where Brown is, but he needs to get – I don't know if he's pouting over here now or he's pissed off that Tatum's now taking a bigger – I don't know what's going on. But the bottom line is if they play like this again tomorrow night, okay, we're recording on Friday. If they play like this tomorrow night, they're going to lose again. I mean,
defensively, Chris, not only that, this kid, Maxey and Oubre and Edgecombe, like they're making these guys look like all stars.
Listen, no, Maxey is an all-star. Edgecombe is up for Rookie of the Year. I get that.
They're making them look better than they are. They're not that good.
You're 100% right. You talked about this. You said this. Are we going to be able to match playoff intensity? No. So like our bench, all of that whole bench, and by the way, I don't want to hear anybody. I don't want to hear anyone in the comments. I don't want to see anybody tell me. Don't you dare tell me this, you friggin' green teamers, that this was a gap year, not a big deal because look at what happened. We got rid of Porzingis and we got rid of Holiday and we got rid of these guys. So what did you expect? No, I'll tell you what I expect. The goalposts moved. My expectation is for them to get to the finals.
Well, when you look at the rest of the Eastern Conference, Chris, and Tatum comes back, why wouldn't you be? Why shouldn't that be the goal to get to the championship? Well, because the conference is not strong.
What? Stephen A. Smith had him going. All the national guys, Barkley and Kenny Smith and all, they all had them going to the finals, coming out of the East. Now all of a sudden, Perk's got him losing this series. I don't blame him.
Perk's got him losing Game 7. Yeah,
and I don't blame him. But that's the problem. That's what you got. And so you're not playing from the paint. There's no. And by the way, is Derek White? What the hell's the matter with this guy? Because now he's not just missing 3-point shots, Mark. He's missing layups. He's missing
it's almost like I don't know if he's tired. I don't know what happened to him. If something, I don't know. He's not playing like he's played in years past in the playoffs. Maybe he's hit that cliff. Maybe the age has hit him all of a sudden. I don't know, but he's not playing like Derek White that we expect. And listen, he's going to have to come up with a game in the Game 7, Chris, too. White's going to for them to win Game 7. You mark my words. Derek White's going to have to score over 15 points for them to win the game. If they win that game, Chris, Derek White scores 20 or more. Mac, write it down. My prediction: 18 to 20, maybe more, and they win the game. Otherwise, they're not going to win Game 7 with the guys they got scoring, Chris. They're not going to.
Missoula. Give me. Do a minute on Missoula, then we'll get to the Bruins in a sec.
Well,
we're doing less on the Bruins because I got much less to be upset with.
Yeah, but listen, Chris, Missoula, Chris. I mean, like you said, can we really get pissed off with Missoula? This is what he's done the whole time he's coached. This is his philosophy. This is his coaching style. This is what he expects. We need to get better shots. We need to get more shots. We need to get rebounds. We need to get transition. The more shots we take, chances are we're going to hit them. We just got to keep pointing. Like, this is his philosophy, Chris. And when they're not going in, they're going to lose, like Barkley said, right? But I mean, can you blame him when he's been doing this since he started coaching the Celtics?
But Jesus Christ.
He's not going to adjust, Chris. He's never shown us he'll adjust.
He needs to go because it's ridiculous. This is the kind of team that if they play the right way can beat anybody in the NBA. Yeah. Anyone.
He's never shown us, Chris, that he will adjust his system.
Why not more Pritchard? What is the anxiety? Why? What's the hesitation with benching, switching these two guys?
Did I feel Pritchard's a defensive liability, Chris? Maybe.
Oh, okay, but you're not getting.
If you play him long enough, and the longer you play him, he's a liability on a defensive side.
Do you think Derek White's been good on Maxey?
No, he hasn't. Nobody has.
So I mean, okay, you got to give up something to get something. I mean, Christ, the other night. There was very, very little Derek White in the fourth. Very little Peyton Pritchard in the fourth quarter. You had Derek White sitting out there, and he looks lost, completely lost. Put him on the bench. Put Pritchard starting the game, and get some juice. And I don't want to see Vucevic anymore.
Chris,
I don't want to see this guy anymore.
He was supposed to be a big pickup when they got him.
16 and 10, 16 points, 10 rebounds a game. Where the hell is that?
Let me ask you this though, Chris. The clip you played of Murray.
Yeah.
He's saying that they're not playing these role players enough. The guys that they played in the regular season that gave them spurts and gave them minutes and gave them points, they're not using them enough.
Mark, listen, I can't come down on the coach for that.
No,
look, this is the NBA playoffs. You shorten your rotation. Best players. Absolutely.
You're supposed to shorten your rotation. Yeah.
You play your best players, and all this other bullshit we're talking about, all of it is just that. Because when it comes down to it, it's about two guys. It's about two guys not showing up.
Yeah.
Okay? It's about Tatum and it's about Brown.
Well, Chris, I'm going to say something
anything else short of that is because those two guys alone should be able to carry this series.
In Game 6, Chris, Tatum wasn't having a bad game. And then all of a sudden something happened. He started stretching. He started running. He goes to the locker room. What happened to him? Nobody knows. It's a big secret.
They're saying he's going to play.
Yeah, but what happened to him?
Hey, something with the other calf, the other leg, the calf.
The other leg, I don't know.
Little calf strain, something like that.
Well, they better hope you don't pop the other Achilles.
Oh, you know what, man? I'll tell you something. I don't know. Maybe it'll be better. Maybe it'll wake Brown's ass up if Tatum's not out there, and they'll win by 30.
Maybe.
But I can tell you this right now, and the last thing I'll say, and we'll talk Bruins for a minute. Even if they win tomorrow night, they're going to get their ass. I'm saying it now. They're going to get their ass kicked by the New York Knicks.
Okay, and I thought that too, and I agreed with you. And I was talking
Because
to my
of the
son.
bigs.
I was talking to my son about that last night after you and I talked.
Yeah, but
And
he
my
hates
son
New York.
said,
He hates
"No,
the
no, no,
Knicks.
no, but it's not even that." He said, "Dad, listen." He said, "You know Tatum." He said he tore his Achilles against that team. He said he's going to score 35 a night against that team. There's no way Tatum's going to allow them to lose to that
Listen,
team.
do you really think he showed you the balls enough to have that mentality?
No, I don't agree with it, but that's something to think about.
It is
I think they're
something to
going to
think
lose
about,
to. I think they're going to lose to the Knicks.
yeah,
I've been saying it anyway.
If he had the dog, if he
Yeah.
was the dog, then I would agree with that. But he's so freaking, he's talking about he keeps talking about himself in the third person. I just want to be Jason Tatum. The Jason Tatum show, like, dude. Yeah, Mark, they're going to get their ass kicked against New York if they win tomorrow night. Now, the Bruins, real quick. Okay, 3-2 in the series. They're playing right now. It's Friday night. Look, all I could say is this.
They're playing with house money. Listen, you know what pisses me off, Chris? They should have won game one. And
Yes.
we should be up 3-2 right now.
That's the thing that
That
they had
pisses
the
me off.
opportunity right there, and they didn't take it. I will say Swayman's been fantastic in the series. He's had some moments, but he's
had
been
moments.
good. He has had. I don't like him. It's hard for me to say this, but he's had good leadership moments. I'm going to tell you something right now. I want Pastrnak gone. I want to trade this guy. Enough with David Pastrnak.
Yeah, you've had enough of him.
He's a basket hanger. That's all he does. You'll never see this guy playing between his own net and the blue line. You'll never see him playing between the offense and his net, like guys like Bergeron did.
Yeah.
He just hangs on the other offensive end until he gets a breakaway, and he can't even bury those.
Let me ask you something. If they win game 6, do they win game 7 on the road? Did they have a shot?
No, they're not going to win this series. But I will give them credit for where they've gotten to at this point, and I also will give Sturm credit. You and I gave him a lot of crap when we first came out. We thought it was a joke. This guy's been a great coach for them because with very little, because the Lindholms suck.
Oh, take a little. Yeah.
Listen, they'll win tonight. The Bruins will win this series if they play better in their own end. It's that simple. The way they play with the puck in their own end and can't get the puck out, can't clear, and all of those things, that's why they're losing the series. That's the only reason why. When they avoid that, they play fine. They're good.
Yeah.
But Pastrnak, no. I'm done with him now, too. That's why he doesn't have the C. So we'll see what happens tonight in that, and we'll see if we're doing a post-mortem next week for these two teams versus moving on in another
let me
series.
tell you something. If we're doing a post-mortem, it's going to be a long stretch because we don't get training camp for a while.
Right. So B's and C's but we want to hear from you. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. B's and C's was presented by CORSO Law Group, CORSOLawGroup.com. We come back. Hey, you ready to go? Get your hips all ready to go.
I'm ready. I'm warmed up.
Catone's comments is next.
No one ever thinks they'll be in need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. Whether it's a traffic ticket or more serious issue, go to CORSOLawGroup.com and talk with these expert attorneys.
Time for Catone
I'm shocked and astounded that the Boston Red Sox finally listened to Chris and I, because we've been saying since the middle of last year that we were sick of Cora's act. We were sick of, the faces and the comments and the digs. It was time for him to go. And now he's gone. Listen, every year at the trade deadline, he gets pissed off because they didn't do enough, and he goes into, they'll typically go into one of these slumps, or they may get a wild card, but they're not going anywhere. And he says, we're doing the best we can with what we got, and he always makes these comments and these slide comments, and then at the end of the season, he'll make a comment like, well, we need to make some upgrades, and but listen, this was not a team for him. Okay, listen, I get when he was brought here, he was not brought here to be the Tampa Bay Rays, a mid-market, lower market team. When he was brought here, the Boston Red Sox were the Boston Red Sox. They were spending money. They had elite talent. They had veterans. All he had to do was push a few buttons, manage egos. Anybody could have managed that team. Anybody. He won a World Series that year. Okay, great. And then after that, John Henry went into a different business philosophy and how to run this team and how he wanted to run this team. Didn't fit Cora's managerial skills. I don't give a shit what anybody says about Cora. His teams played poor defensively every year. They led the league. They led the league in errors. You can say what you want. Oh, well, I didn't have the players. Bullshit. You're the manager. They ran into outs on the base paths. Terrible base running. Terrible fundamentals. Never moved guys over. Listen, they weren't teams that actually got better. Or you could say, wow, now look at the things he's doing. Look at the buttons he's pushing to get squeeze extra wins out of this team. He was good with players like them. He's a player's manager. But this was not the team for him. He was not going to develop all these young guys. That's not what he signed on for. I think they did him a favor. He was tweeted out, oh, the Coras are good. We're doing all right. Oh, no shit. You don't want to be here anymore anyways. He didn't want to be here. They did him a favor. He's going to end up coaching at the end of the year. He's going to go coach. He's going to end up with the Mets. He's going to end up with the Astros. He's going to end up with one of these teams that fires their manager, who's still got veterans, who are still spending money, and they need somebody like a Cora to get them to the finish line. And that's the only type of team he can manage. And I'll put that. I'll bet that with anybody. He's not. That's just. I get he's a nice guy. Everybody in Boston likes him. Hell, I get that. Everybody had nice things to say about him. His manager, when you really look at him as a manager, he was flawed. He was flawed. Okay? And that's just the bottom line. Then you got Trevor Story running his mouth. You're batting 173. Let me repeat this. You're batting 173. Shut your mouth. Hit the goddamn ball, and then maybe you could talk about, oh, well, we weren't told anything in the locker room. You're hitting 173. They shouldn't tell you anything. You're a bum. You're a has-been, a bum. You're washed up. You drank from the fountain of youth last year. You stink. You're batting 173. Shut your mouth, Trevor Story. I'm sure. Who the hell are you to run your mouth? Batting 173. Chris, this is insanity. 173. He's batting and he's running his mouth.
Listen, and he couldn't get along with this guy.
Ultimately, responsibility for the performance on the field, it falls on me as the leader of the baseball operation. But so too does the responsibility for doing everything that I can.
Oh, this is an AI
can to find solutions. And right now, we feel like these changes were warranted. And we're really, excited about the chance for Chad to come in and be a consistent, stabilizing voice and one that, a majority of our player group is familiar with.
Okay. That's Craig Breslow. Joe, can you you use AI a lot, right? What was the difference between what you hear out of that than that guy? Sounds exactly the same.
Yeah. One word, Polish or something, a word like that, and they say Polish. It's like,
what struck me in that press conference, though, Chris, was he said 2 or 3 times, maybe more, we believe in the group in that locker room that they can play better. It was like,
of course Cora they do.
Well, no. But it was a dig at Cora that Cora had no confidence in that team and didn't think they were, didn't think that they could win with the guys he gave them. And Cora, you know what I mean? That was a dig at Cora because, you know what I mean? That 3 or 4 times he said it.
Several weeks ago, when I amended my win total for the season, you guys said, ready, you're starting after the first week. And I said to you, he's already doing it. He's already pouting. He's pouting like he does every single year, Cora, when they get to the trade deadline and they don't make a move to get better. Yeah. And then he pouts for a few weeks and the team goes into the toilet.
Now he's doing it in April, Chris.
Now he's doing it. And I said, he's doing it in April now. This is the beginning of the end. And it was true. I mean, because again, Mark, everything you said is 1,000% accurate. And look, I don't blame Craig. I don't blame Breslow. He's doing, he's got his marching orders. I mean, this is the decision this team wanted. Any big contract they were going to give out were going to be done early.
Kennedy and Breslow are doing exactly what John Henry wanted them to do.
Yeah, any big contracts they give out, they're being done early. They're being done early and with length to them. You know,
Because they're getting a deal. It's team friendly.
Exactly, like the Roman Anthony thing, and what was the other guy? Campbell. Who's the other guy they signed?
Campbell. Yeah.
But
And
the
even
young
Crochet,
guys,
even Crochet, they signed him to an extension. They got him for kind of cheap money, Chris.
and the young guys love this. Look, there's a reason why Roman Anthony likes it, and Marcelo Myers doing backflips over this, and those kinds of guys, because again, Chad Tracy, what is he? He's a developmental manager. That's what he does. He's on the minor leagues. He's a developmental.
He works with the young guys.
Developmental player, manager. I mean, but you're right. And not only Story. Who is Bello think he is? This guy's got an ERA of 9.
He stinks.
9. And he got pissed off when Chad Tracy came out, took him out. He's shaking his head like this. Tracy's coming out. Tracy's going to come out to the mound because he just gave up 4 runs. Okay? He just gave up 4 runs. He should have got yanked a batter before that. And he's shaking his head like this. Shaking his head. And then, for those of you on the radio, I'm going left to right, shaking my head like no. Anyway, he's shaking his head. No, Mark. He comes into the dugout. He's throwing things. He's pissed off. He's See,
listen,
Bello,
if they had any balls, he would have been released the next day. Who the hell are you going? We don't need.
That's right.
Release.
You're absolutely right.
Go play for somebody else.
Listen, guys like Bello. That's the reason I can't stand baseball. This is why I hate baseball now. This is why I can't watch it. I can't watch baseball anymore because he's entitled little son of a little brat bastard.
Listen, I've had a thing. Listen,
it's spoiled little brats.
Listen, Trevor Story gets me because I think he stinks. Like I said, he got a hot streak last year in the second half of the season. Made it seem like, I got something left in the tank. He stunk. He's injured. He stinks. Trevor Story is lucky he's still in Major League Baseball. And you're running your mouth. You don't know how that went up my ass sideways, Trevor Story. Who the hell are you?
But you're right about Cora. Listen, he's not. He's a manager for He's a manager for veterans. He's a manager for sluggers. He's a guy. That's what he does.
He can manage superstars. Absolutely can. He's
so here's a
for
question
a team like that.
And by the way, do you think, and I agree with you, this is what Cora wanted. He wanted out. The biggest mistake Cora made was signing that extension. And you and I were shocked when that happened.
Yeah.
We were shocked that he signed that extension. And they're talking about, they came in and said they wanted to get rid of Veritek. And that's what did it for Corey. He said, no. I
don't know if it was Veritek, though, Chris. They said that, but then I think it was they wanted to get rid of the hitting coach and the assistant hitting coach. And he had a very close relationship with that hitting coach, Cora.
Oh, he doesn't care about them. The bottom line is it was the opportunity. He saw the opportunity to say, I can get out of here. Let them fire me. Okay, here's my question before we leave this. Would you, end of the season, the Yankees get bounced in the division round?
Yep.
Do you make the move and bring Cora in?
No, not anymore. No, nope. I seen enough of him. Nope, don't want him. I don't want him. Nope.
You don't think that this is the type of team that he can?
No, because you're gonna have young guys coming up. You're gonna have Jones. You're gonna have Dominguez. You got LaGrange. You got Elmer Rodriguez. You got Lombard. You got a bunch of young guys who are about to come up over the next 3 years. Chris, I don't want them.
You can't discount the fact.
Spencer Jones, I don't want him.
That no matter how young the guys are or whatever, you can't discount what you said about Cora's teams. The defense stinks all the time. They don't run. Okay, they're not fundamentally sound. They're not situationally sound.
No, they're not situational sound. That's on him. Chris, the year they
got an outfielder that can't throw the ball from here to there. He's supposed to be an MVP.
Listen, I'm just going to put this out there. And I know this isn't going to be popular.
Why he's batting first, I don't know. But anyway, go ahead.
He's not batting first anymore. Tracy moved him to third.
Where he should be.
Yeah. So I'm just going to put this out there. And I know that this isn't popular, but I'm going to put it out there because we're the real deal. New England feel, and we say how it is, right? So the year they won the World Series, that first year, he was managing, his first year here, okay? Yes, you had superstars. You had Betts. You had all these guys, right? Devis and Bogarts. You had superstars. You should have won with that team. However, every single game. iPad in front of him. Going to the iPad. Guys in the bullpen with the eye watchers. There was signals. There was this. Listen. That's in my opinion, that's a tainted World Series. There was stuff going on. And then all of a sudden after that season, you don't see the iPad in front of him anymore. Never saw. Maybe other guys in the dugout have. You never. Listen, you're not going to tell me a guy in the World Series wins the MVP that year, was 135 career friggin' hitter, bats like 600. Come on, Chris. Listen, I know everyone loves the Red Sox. Listen, that's to me, there was something funny going on. There was some funny business that year with the Red Sox, too. There was some funny business. They had the players to do it. They absolutely did. That was a type of team he could win with. However, there was still some funny business going on. And don't forget, he was involved in that whole trash can incident and the whole figuring out.
Joe, did he just say funny business?
Funny business.
Here it is.
He was involved in that Astro cheating scandal. He was on the staff. So listen, you know what, Chorus? Go enjoy yourself. Go to Tropical Island.
He'll go to the Mets. You're right. He's going to end up with the Mets
next year. He absolutely is going to end up with the Mets. Go have a Mai Tai somewhere on a beach and disappear for about 6 months.
Well, we're going to cover it. We'll have it all season long. But Catone, good job, Mark. Catone's comments was presented by CORSO Law Group, Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm, CORSOLawGroup.com. Allow us to be your voice. We come back. We're going to go to Pat's preview. We're going to discuss Vrabel. We're going to discuss the draft and so much more. No flipping.
No one ever thinks they will be in need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. CORSO Law Group is Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. Their 20-plus years experience and attention to detail has helped thousands of people who found themselves in a situation in Arizona. Whether it's a traffic ticket or more serious issue, talk with these expert attorneys. CORSOLawGroup.com.
Back in with more Corso and Catone, the real deal, New England feel. All right, let's get into Patriots talk. We're going to do it in Pat's preview right now.
Pat's preview.
Show Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel all over each other at a secluded New York City bar. 6 years before they were caught holding hands and hugging at an Arizona resort. The New England Patriots coach and the NFL reporter were spotted together inside the dimly lit Tribeca Tavern in the early hours of March 11th, 2020. They sat close to each other while conversing at the bar, at one point appearing to share a kiss.
Who can listen to that voice?
The first time I heard that, I swear to God, I almost stabbed my eardrums. You know,
just to get it. Punched you through the screen right now.
That was the Page 6 report. This is, but the reason I put that in there, Joe. This is what it's come to. This is what this story has come to. This Page 6 tabloid bullshit. You know. That's what it is. Rick Vrabel is the thing and the girl and the thing. Okay, so here we are. It's still going, Mark. It's still going.
Listen, I don't understand it, Chris. I just don't understand it.
Well, this is what I mean. Listen, it's the time of year. Okay, I mean, I say the time of year, but there's a lot. I mean, there's playoffs going on. There's a lot of stuff happening. But it's just too juicy for everybody. And he handled it so poorly. I mean, we heard from our good friend Stillman on this again, too.
If this is going to be one of those Bobby Petrino situations where the Arkansas makes the Sugar Bowl and then the next year he's not the coach and on an emergency basis, John L. Smith is running the team. Vrabel's a football coach. Rossini's a reporter. A reporter has to be trusted. A reporter has to be unbiased. A reporter has to be. So that's why Diana couldn't do her job if she was having an affair with a source. Vrabel's a football coach. The football coach's job is to win games. So when this story broke, I said, I think Diana is done for, and I think Vrabel will just go on and coach the Patriots. Now, I think a little bit of that aura of the great Mike Vrabel will be tarnished because of this, but as far as it affecting his ability to coach the Patriots, I didn't think the assistant coaches would care, I didn't think the players would care, and I figured Vrabel could address it once and move on and coach. Now Vrabel's missing day 3 of the draft. Whoa!
Some difficult conversations with people that I care about, with my family, the organization, the coaches, the players. Those have been positive and productive. We believe in order to be successful on and off the field, you have to make good decisions. That includes me. That starts with me. We never want our actions to negatively affect the team. We never want to be the cause of a distraction. Those are comments and questions that I've answered for the team and with the team. We'll keep those private and, to ourselves. I care deeply about this football team, and I'm excited to coach them. I also know that I'm going to attack each day with humility and focus. And what I can promise you is that my family, this organization, the team, the staff, the coaches, everybody, our fans, most importantly, will get the best version of me going forward. And that's what I know, and I'm excited to do that. But I wanted to just address this and thank you for your patience in dealing with the private and personal matter.
So that was on the Tuesday before the draft.
Before the draft, yes.
Then the next day on Wednesday,
which was okay. Okay,
you want what should have been said from day one.
Should have been done from day one, but at least he went out there, he addressed it, did it when nobody knew he was going to be. But anyway, we'll get into that. The media, that was kind of a setup for the media. Yes.
The next day, more pictures came out.
Yeah.
The pictures from 6 years ago came out with him and Rossini, and then you heard things like this. But Diana Rossini said on this was on X, but she did when she had her first kid and named him Michael. Okay,
I'm not getting into this.
I have to. She said, I keep looking at my almost 4-day-old son Michael while trying to figure out. Should I please? We get some good music for the background on this. 4-day-old Michael
days of our live
while
music.
trying to listen to this while trying to figure out who are the best Michaels to ever play and coach in the NFL. This is she names. That's despicable. But anyway, there's that. Then pictures come out. Then on Wednesday night at like midnight or whenever those pictures come out, then Vrabel says this.
Some difficult conversations with people that I care about, with my family, the organization, the coaches, the players. Those have been my priorities are my family and this football team, and in that order. And there's a balance there that I am going to create. And
this is 2 days later.
My family needs me this weekend, and that's where I'll be. But I'm confident in the people that we have. I'm confident in the preparation. I'm thankful for Elliot and his staff that have prepared us for this night, for this weekend.
Mark, that's 2 days later. After he gives that first statement we played, then all the other new pictures come out from the 6 years ago that he's been doing this for years.
Yeah.
And then he decides he's going to miss the draft. Okay. We can't talk about the draft until we talk about this because we haven't.
We have to talk about this before we talk about the draft.
How did we get here? How the hell did it get this? How did this get away from this idiot? You got to be an idiot.
So, first of all, Chris, I go back to the Sedona. All right, the pitches from Arizona, not even the pitches from 6 years ago and all that nonsense. Okay, great. Now, allegedly, they're saying that it was a couple who were were there.
It wasn't the husband of
and a guy who's a real football fan saw Vrabel and took the picture and didn't realize what he was taking. The picture. Okay, maybe. But so then all of a sudden, why is that? Why do you leak that out? Like with the girl and
listen, I don't know.
The whole thing doesn't make any sense to me, Chris.
But the reason we're here, the reason it's this bad, is because of this. These photos show a completely innocent interaction, and any suggestion otherwise is laughable.
Yeah,
it doesn't deserve any further response. That's why we're here.
Yeah, you screwed that up.
You can't, Joe. You lived in LA for a long time, okay? You can't challenge the tabloids that way. You can't.
Forget LA. It's just the time and era that we live in now. It's like information is there, readily available on every camera and every corner and every institution. It's like you can't do stupid shit like that.
Because you can be sure as hell that whatever they released about Sedona, they had that much more waiting. Yeah. Okay? And when you go and challenge them and say your story's laughable, that's it.
What do you think's going to happen?
And so if he had given that statement that he gave the Tuesday before the draft, then
when that was released,
we're not here. We're not in this point. Okay. So, I mean, you and I haven't had a chance to really go through it. And
they definitely don't. He definitely doesn't have somebody on staff, Chris, that's kind of like, knows how to do damage control for him and a fixer. And he doesn't have, I mean.
But you made it a football. Like, in other words, this is not a football story. It's not a football story. And he made it one.
It should be it's a life, personal, family story with him, his wife, his kids, what have you. That's what it is.
But this horse's ass made it
shouldn't
be a football story.
You're right. You're having an issue with your spouse. You use something happens. She cheats on you. You cheat on her. Whatever the situation is, whatever. Yeah. That's a personal situation between you and your spouse and your family that you have to deal with. You're right, Chris. It shouldn't become a New England Patriot draft issue. It shouldn't.
But the minute he decided to miss the draft,
yeah, that's a problem.
You now made it a football story.
Yeah, you now made it a football story. Yeah.
And I'm just curious about something, okay? Because I'm getting sick and tired of this shit now. I got to be honest, okay? You're telling me you can't go to counseling on Sunday? You can't go on Sunday or Monday? Like what? I mean, in other words, listen, Jen Vrabel, just divorce his ass. Just divorce him. Take the ring off, throw it at him, and let's get to the season. Like, I mean, what, because listen, he ain't my moral compass. I give a shit about the New England Patriots. I care about the name on the front. We are the real deal, New England Field. I don't give a rat's ass what you're doing. I don't care unless you do something illegal. This is your problem. This is an internal issue in your home. You're not my moral compass. I don't care. Don't bring your shit into work. And now, that opened the door for Breer to say, well, today I heard this. Burt Breer says, I think, he should go to the Crafts and say, look, I'm stepping away. I'm going to take as much time as I have to take so that I come back. Or the Crafts should say that to him. That go step away until you can come back and be the Mike Vrabel that we know you to be. Is this what we've come to in this society now? Are we this soft?
Listen.
Are we this soft? I just want to know.
Listen, I'm going to say it.
It's not like he's sick. It's not like he's got some sort of illness.
I'm going to say it. I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it. Do you honestly think...
never got involved.
No. Do you honestly think that Mr. Kraft... Listen, the man... I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say it. The man was in a strip mall getting a foot massage. Let's just say he was getting a foot massage at some spa. Do you honestly think his moral compass, Chris, is Mike Vrabel needs to step away and get help? He's worried about his football team, his brand and money. Come on, Breer, are you that naive? Are you that naive?
All these people that keep talking about,
come on,
is he going to lose his job? Is Mike Tomlin is on deck now to become should he resign? Why would he have to resign? This is not a football issue. He didn't break the law. He's a moron. He's an idiot.
He's not arrested for a felony. He's not going to court. Nothing, Chris.
What are we talking about? Listen. And let's get to the draft. But here's Mark. Look.
Listen, I'm going to say this.
Will he be the same Mike Vrabel when he comes back?
And people can get mad at me and say whatever they want. But listen, we call it a spade in this show. Do you think he's the only one doing something like that?
Oh, listen.
Come on.
Maybe
I'm not going to go down that road, and I'm not going to speculate what I think or don't
I know a lot of former NFL players. Okay.
I'm not going to say it. But listen,
I won't
come on.
Listen, like I said,
listen. Should have never gone involved with that.
Should have never got involved. Yeah,
Frankie.
Mark. And maybe it's just a sign of the times. I don't know, whatever. And maybe I seem like an insensitive son of a bitch. Let me know in the comments. That's fine. Torch me. I don't care. But this nonsense. Well, is Mike Vrabel going to come back and be the same Mike Vrabel that we know him to be, or is now he lose some of his bravado?
Listen, listen. He was an NFL player. You get in the goddamn locker room in front of your players and say, listen, I screwed up, guys. Don't put your shit out on Main Street like I did. Take care of yourself. Do what you're supposed to do. I screwed up. Paying the goddamn penalty. Listen, we're a family here, and I screwed up. Don't do what I did because I'm a jerk. I'm an asshole. I screwed up, and now I got to straighten things out with my family. That's what he goes. He goes to the locker room like a goddamn football player, and that's how he talks to them. Are these guys braring? These guys ever play? Have they ever played?
Nah.
Have they ever been in a locker room? Like what? Come on.
No, they sell
guys.
newspapers.
What do you think he's going to go in that locker room and say? You think he's going to go in there and say, "Oh, I did a bad thing. It was immoral." He's not going to tell a bunch.
And by the way, the players, like you and I both said, the players got his back.
Joe,
the players have his back.
Joe, key up the boat. Where's the boat? Put it on, Joe. Where's the boat?
Yeah.
All right, let's
go off the rails today. Completely off the rails.
Let's get to this. This is what happens when we miss a week, So, okay, let's get to the draft. The people are dying for us to get to the draft now. So,
did we get anybody good? That's the question.
Listen. Yeah, no, we did, Joe. We actually did, Joe. Let's go through it quickly, Chris.
Let's talk about. Well, that's okay. Let's talk about the first 3 rounds. Okay,
because that's all there is to talk about, anyways.
Well, here's our first pick.
Feel great. I just want to play. Whatever position's open, I just want to get on the field and get out and play. Will Campbell already sent me a text. I haven't been able to respond yet, but, I love that. Being able to come into a room. They just drafted him last year. 2 guys I can be able to learn, newer guys. And so I'm so excited for the opportunity. I'll play wherever. I'm coming in to play some football, the game I love. I'm able to play any position. And so wherever the team needs me, I'm going to be able to play, and just so excited to be a part of it.
Will's the left tackle. And like I said, Caleb has some versatility. So we feel like, some of the pro day workouts that he did were on the right side.
This is the guy that got more power now because
we were comfortable with that. Again, he's very athletic, so I don't think either side will be a problem.
That's the only damage.
That is
okay,
damage.
so that was your new tackle for the New England Patriots, Caleb Lomu, drafted in the first round out of Utah, 6'6", 313. They traded the 4th round pick along with the 31st to get up there to 28. And take him. He was a redshirt sophomore, started 24 games over the last 2 seasons. First team All Big 12 in 2025. Mark, what do you think of this pick?
So at first, Chris, I was like, I wasn't crazy about the pick. But then I went back and I looked at some more tape on this kid. So the number 5 pick in the draft, Chris, was Bailey out of Texas Tech. The kid the kid Bailey, the edge.
The edge guy.
And I went back and looked at the tape of this kid playing against Bailey. And let me tell you something. He handled Bailey. He gave Bailey fits in that game. Yeah. This kid's a left tackle, actually. Bailey couldn't get by. I mean, Bailey beat him a couple of times. But for the most part, Chris, Bailey couldn't get by him.
Yeah.
And Bailey overpowered everybody last year that he went up against. He couldn't overpower this kid.
I watched every one of this kid's snaps last year. Okay, I watched every Utah game. Every one of his snaps.
Yeah, you watch the Utah games. Yeah,
I do. My son goes there.
Yeah.
So, he needs to work on his run blocking. Yes, for sure.
Yes,
he needs to gain a little more weight. He's 313. He needs to bulk up just a little bit, and he will. He'll get in the offseason program and the strength program, and he'll do that. A little mild mannered, whatever. But I'm not worried about that. Mark, he's got the size, the quickness, the athleticism, the measurables. Okay,
Chris,
I put it out.
He's got the arms and the hands. That he was using those against Bailey. That's something that our left tackle currently cannot do.
I put it out on Instagram the day of the draft when they picked him, and I said to everybody out there, and I still mean it. This is our future left tackle. I'm telling you, mark it. Mark the date, time. Yeah. This kid will be playing left tackle. And the last thing I'll say about him is this: there's a reason. The number 9 pick in this draft was Fano. Okay, the right tackle for Utah, his teammate.
And he
was the number 9.
He kept him at right tackle.
He kept Fano at right tackle. What the hell does that tell you?
Yeah.
that tells you that this kid is a left tackle. So, give him the season. He'll swing right now at both sides, and but I think it's a great pick. I like the pick because there wasn't really anything. It was a deep edge draft, not so much tackle. No. And then in the second pick,
he was probably the last tackle, Chris, that you could say, oh, this kid could be a bona fide starter at left tackle. He was probably the last one of that group that was probably, this kid's, you know what I mean? Agreed. After that, it was kind of a little bit of a crapshoot.
Agreed. So believe it or not, Joe, I like the pick. I do. I like the pick because I like the player.
No, you know what? The funny thing is, I caught his combine, and for some reason, something inside me said, "We're picking this kid. I know we're gonna get this kid. I don't know why, but I knew we were gonna get him. I didn't think we'd get him on that pick, but."
And so that takes us to the second pick, our second pick, 55th overall, our edge guy. We got the edge. We needed edge, Mark. They got edge in Gabe Jacas out of Illinois, and it's with a J, Jacas, but it's pronounced Jacas, Gabe Jacas. Mark, listen, people kept asking, is Vrabel going to have his thumbprint on this draft because of all the crap that's going on? This is a Mike Vrabel guy. This is a Mike Vrabel pick. And by the way, just really quick, I wasn't worried about that he wasn't involved and the fact that he wasn't there. All these guys that they picked in day 3 some of them came in for visits. Vrabel signed off on all this. But talking about Jacas, the physicality, Mark, the violent way that he comes off the edge.
Yep.
Okay. What do you like? He had 11 sacks, 13 and a half tackles for losses. Okay. 3 forced fumbles as a senior. What do you think?
I like him, Chris. Listen, you know what I like about him, Chris? He has a wrestling background, and it shows up in his hand fighting and his leverage, right? So the kid's flexible. He's an athlete. He wasn't just a football player. I think, Chris, he also can win on the inside. So I think he, believe it or not, gives you a little versatility. You could swing him at times inside if you had to. But my only thing with him, Chris, is as a senior, he did miss a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
Like he missed some tackles. And that just that in the open field, he did miss some tackles, Chris, this year as a senior. So I think you just gotta be mindful of that. Like he's got some work to do. He's not a finished product, right? He plays tall a little bit, Chris, against down blocks, and he struggles a little bit when the tackle gets under his pads to anchor. Those are the 2 things that I noticed about him.
But coming off the edge. Now, see, I agree with you. Is he going to be an edge setter? Is he going to be somebody? Is he a 3-down player right now? No, he's not a 3-down player. He's not going to play defensive end to the degree of I can set an edge. I'm good in the run game because of all the issues that Mark just talked about, all those issues before his camera went crazy. So all those reasons, he's not going to be a 3-down player right now. But Mark, coming off the edge, okay, that's going to be his specialty. He will be on. This guy will get on the field, and he will be disruptive coming off the edge as a strict situational edge rusher kind of guy.
Chris, I like him. I think the kid's got huge upside. I like him. I think the kid's a hell of an athlete.
I mean, listen, he's violent. He's twitchy. He gets on that 90-degree, bends his shoulder, and drops.
I like the pick.
I'm real happy with the pick.
No, I like the pick, Chris. I do like the pick.
And this is the one I want you to talk about a lot here. The 3rd round pick, the 95th overall, both of us like this pick. The tight end, Eli Reardon out of Notre Dame. Mark.
And if you listen to our pre-draft show when we talked about tight ends, Chris, he was on my board. He was one of my guys. He was one of your guys. We both said that we liked the tight end from Notre Dame. We liked Reardon. We thought maybe he'd go in the 4th round. We didn't necessarily know if he'd be a 3rd round pick. But listen, the tight end group, Chris, wasn't a strong tight end group. So I think they were afraid he wouldn't last. They had to go get him, right? So they did.
I don't mind where they picked them because you and I both said the first pick's going to be edge, second pick's going to be tackle, and third pick should be tight end. They did it in reverse, but that's what they did.
And listen,
what do you like about him? 32 catches, by the way, 16 topped out of 16 games. 30. Tell me what you think of the player and what his tendencies. Chris, tell me what you think about the knee too.
Well, that's the only concern is that he's had 2 knee injuries to the same knee. So listen, he reminds me of Gronk. Gronk had the injuries coming out of college, the back injuries, the knee. So he reminds me a little bit of Gronk. It shortened his career.
It did.
It did shorten Gronk's career, right? So that's a concern, yes. But I will tell you this, Chris. He was underutilized at Notre Dame because they don't necessarily feature the tight end. They had, well, put it this way: they had the 2 first-round draft picks at the running back position. So how much were you featuring the tight end when you got two first-round draft picks running the football? But he can block. But you know what I like about him, Chris? He's an athlete. The kid he's a big kid. He can get down the seam.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. He can get down. He can go across the field, Chris. He can get open and down the seam. Listen, this kid's got good hands. I'm going to tell you something, Chris, and I said it pre-draft. I liked him as a Patriot because of McDaniels' system. McDaniels has to be licking his chops to get his hands on this kid. Listen,
the seam routes.
Oh, Hunter Henry, yes. Obviously, starter. He's the veteran. He's going to coach the kid. He's going to work with this kid. But, Chris, this kid's got a lot of potential to be like a 50, 60 catch tight end. You know what I mean? A terror in the red zone. You know, we haven't had a 50, 60 catch tight end in a long time. I mean, yes, Henry catches the ball, but this kid has the potential to be a different type of tight end than Henry. You know what I mean?
And he finds the holes in the zones too.
Yeah, he does. He's a McDaniels tight end.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I like that pick. Is there anything out of the third day that you like that you want to mention at all? There's only one guy. I like Jam Miller out of Alabama.
I like Jim Miller I think he's going to eventually he'll be Stevenson's replacement. Yeah. I think Stevenson will be going at the end of this year. They'll do one more year with Stevenson, and then Miller will probably be the next Ramondre. Believe it or not, Chris, I was okay with the tackle they took out of Texas A&M too. Was it out of A&M?
The talking about third round.
No, he was like 6th round.
Yeah,
I liked him.
Yeah.
Chris, listen. He's going to make the roster. I bet you.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive tag. Talking about Demetrius Crownover.
Yeah.
Out of Texas A&M, no 96th overall. They took him in the 6th round. Yeah, Mark, he's 6'7", 319. He's a tackle for sure.
He's a tackle
for sure. A tackle. He's a guy that was supposed to go earlier in day 3, but then went a little bit later.
He went later. Do you mind one
good
pet peeve, Chris? No wide receiver.
Yeah.
In the 6th round or 7th, whatever round it was, you took a quarterback who, by the way, stunk at Texas Tech. He couldn't throw a ball for a completion in the college football playoff game against Oregon, and that's who you took.
Yeah.
Like you said, Chris, if you're going to take a tight end, take the kid from. If you're going to take a quarterback, take the kid from LSU.
Yeah.
Right. But here's my problem with that, Chris. I'm sick of these reporters in this part of the country. Well, you got a crowded wide receiver room. You got a crowded wide receiver room of shit. You got Booty, Douglas. These guys are average players, Chris. The guy I liked in my pre-draft wide receiver breakdown, I said he'll be there probably in the 6th round, 5th, 6th round. He could be a Booty replacement. The kid from University of Miami, C.J. Daniels, I believe. We draft the quarterback. With the next pick, who takes him? The Rams.
Of course.
They don't have a crowded wide receiver room?
And by the way, we took this to linebacker out of TCU, okay, in the 6th round.
You couldn't even find tape on him.
Listen, all I could say is linebacker's an issue, and it's still an issue. Perkins was on the board for LSU. Knee injuries, I get it, but he was on the board.
Alabama was on the board.
Lawson
you like?
From Alabama was still on the board, and guess what? The pick before we took, I think we took the Prunty guy, which I don't even know what the hell that's about. That corner out of Wake Forest. The pick before that, Philly. Guess who Philly takes? Perkins.
Of course Lawson. Didn't they get Lawson?
No. It was the LSU guy. It was Perkins.
Of course it was. Because Philly knows how to take. Philly. The one thing I can say about Philly, Chris, nobody's better than Philly when it comes to drafting linebackers. They're understanding of linebackers and speed at that position is like no other franchise.
So Mark would have liked to see a wide receiver. I would have liked to see a better linebacker take.
Joe would have liked to have seen a wide receiver.
Seriously.
So didn't happen, but the first 3 picks we're okay with. And we're going to see how this progresses. We'll see what minicamp looks like, and then we'll also track the drama. But we got to go. Corso and Catone was presented by Corso Law Group, corsolawgroup.com. Make sure you come back next week, noon Eastern. We're going to talk more Celtics Bruins. Hopefully it's not a post-mortem. And we're going to talk Catone's comments. Anything you bring to the table, we will be ready. We are Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel. See you next Saturday.
Now find CORSO and CATONE on AM 790, The Score, iHeartRadio, iTunes, wherever you podcast. Or subscribe to the YouTube channel and catch the chaos every Saturday at noon.